So I am using a new camera, and this may very well be our new travel vlogging camera. And the reason is because it is so tiny. This probably is the most discreet camera I've ever owned. But the question is the quality good enough for YouTube, for content creation? Let's find out. Alright, so I'm here in the car waiting for the kids, picking them up today. Both of them coming out today at the same time, so yeah. Got the kids already. Half day today. Alright, so this is the Insta360 GO3, and this is probably the world's smallest action camera. Now, this is my first ever Insta360 Go camera. This is the third version of it already, and this thing is 35 grams. Yes, you have a 35-gram camera, which is heavier than the previous Insta360 Go cameras, but because of that, it increased its runtime. Now, this tiny camera has a battery runtime of 45 minutes, but when you pair it up with this, and this is called the Action Pod, the 45-minute battery runtime turns into 170-minute runtime. And this Action Pod is the first for the Go series here in the Go3. Now, for those of you who had the previous Insta360 Go cameras, you know that the only way to change a lot of settings or to preview your shot with the Go camera is by using the app in your phones. But with this Action Pod, you can actually do all of that here. Yes, it has a flip-up screen, and by using the Action Pod, this basically turns into like a more traditional action camera. So when you turn it on, as you can see, you could preview your image, and you could actually change some of the settings using this Action Pod, and you can have it selfie mode, you can see yourself, or if you're shooting other people or other scenes, just flip it back and you have it just like, you know, a traditional action camera. But what's unique about this camera is when you take out this Action 3 camera and, let's say, film something, you can use the Action Pod to preview what you are shooting right now. Yup, it is wirelessly connected and is streaming a preview of what this little camera is seeing. Isn't that amazing? And this just opened up a lot of possibilities when using your Go3, because before you just slap it on shirt, slap it on the cap, and you just hope that, you know, what you're seeing or what the camera is seeing is nice. But now you can actually preview what you're seeing if you're putting this like inside a bag or inside a glass and you're pouring water. You can actually see what the shot looks like.
And if you've been following me for a while, whether in YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, you know that I love magnets. And this is magnetic. Wait. So included in the box, all of the Insta360 GO3, you have this sticky mount, and this can magnetically attach here. And it's not just this that's magnetic. The Action Pod also has a magnetic mount at the bottom, so you can easily attach the Action Pod to the magnetic accessories of Insta360.
And two other things that came inside the box with the Insta360 camera is this, which is a cap clip, wherein you can put this in your cap and you can just attach the camera magnetically. There you go. You see it? And the other one is this neck strap wherein you can put this under your shirt, which I can't do right now because I have the microphone under the shirt. Imagine it's under my shirt and you can just attach the Insta360 GO3 here and have a POV shot while walking around. All right, so now let's talk about specs. All right, so let's talk about video specs of the GO3, since I think video is where this camera really excels. Now, the previous camera, the GO2, could shoot up to 1440p up to 30 frames per second. Now, this camera, the GO3, could shoot at 2.7K up to 30 frames per second. So that is an upgrade. And you can also shoot up to 50 frames per second at 1440p. And there is a slow motion mode wherein you can shoot up to 120 frames per second at 1080p. But take note that the slow motion mode, you already will get it at a slow motion type video, and it's not like a real-time video that you can put into your software and just slow it down. It will be already in slow motion and it won't have any audio. Now you've got other modes like the regular photo mode, the HDR mode, time lapse, time shift, and there are other modes like star lapse, but I don't really use all of these modes. I just use mainly the video mode here in the Insta360 GO3. But my favorite mode so far is the free frame mode. Now the free frame mode is available up to 1440p, and what it does is it takes this big image, probably like a square image using the whole sensor of the camera, and you can reframe that image in the app for a horizontal orientation or a vertical orientation. So this eliminates the need for you to think, do I want to shoot this scene horizontally or vertically? Plus, since it takes like a whole sensor image, this also means that you will have a horizon lock in this mode. And let me just show you. So I'm in free frame mode right now with the Insta360 GO3, and you can see it in my mirrorless camera that I will turn this around, and you will probably see the video when I post it that the horizon is locked. Even if I am turning this around, let's put it upside down. Nope, the horizon is locked. So free frame mode is my favorite mode here in the Insta360 GO3. All right, Editor Nico here, and while editing, I realized I forgot to mention two things. Number one, that this Insta360 GO3 was sent over by Insta360, but no money changed hands. I was not paid to say anything. This is not a sponsored video. They simply sent this for me to try out and say my thoughts about this camera. And number two, I forgot to mention the price when I recorded the video. Now, the Insta360 GO3 comes in three sizes, meaning the storage size: 32 gig, 64 gig, and 128 gig. I have here the 64 gig, which retails at $469.99 in Insta360's website. Now the 32 gig comes in $449.99, and the 128 gig at $505.99. Now here in the Philippines, the 64 gig storage retails at around 26,000 pesos. And those prices are for the standalone version of this camera, meaning you get everything that I mentioned earlier in this video. But you can get other bundles like the travel kit, the creator kit, the bike kit. You can check out all these bundles in Insta360's website. But what Insta360 actually sent me is the travel kit, which includes everything that I mentioned already, but it includes this: a 2-in-1 mini tripod, which you can use with the Insta360 camera. And it also came with this carry case specifically for the GO3. All right, that's it for Editor Nico. Back to the main timeline. Now, why am I excited for this camera? This camera will allow me to shoot a lot of, the more everyday stuff with my family, with my wife, with my kids, because of its small size. Sometimes you just realize that there's a moment that you want to capture, but since my mirrorless camera is in the bag and I have to take it out, or a phone is probably in the bag or my pocket, you gotta open it and put it on the camera. and then the moment is just gone. But with the Go3, even if it's in your pocket, you can just whip out this small camera, and there's only one button. So just press the button and you capture the moment instantly. Also, because of its size and its mounting options, I could take videos hands-free, let's say while playing with my kids, which you cannot do if you have a mirrorless camera with you. So who is this camera for? I think there are a lot of people who would benefit from getting this camera. Number one, creators, content creators, creatives who are limited by the size of their cameras when thinking of shots. Because of the size, you can't fit a mirrorless camera inside, let's say, a glass, which you can do with the Insta360 GO3. So if you're that type of person, this definitely is for you. And for everyday tech moms and tech dads like me, because of its compact size and how simple this camera is to use, this is a perfect camera for family videos, everyday life videos, travel videos. You can just, mount this. You can just even hold it because it's like literally the size of a thumb, and it's just so easy to operate and it's easy to keep with you at all times. So that is it for this video of the Insta360 GO3. Please share in the comments if you're someone who would want to get this camera and what will you use it for? And if you want to watch more videos about camera gear, audio equipment, other tech gadgets related stuff, please do check out my other videos here.